everyone, it's Holly Breaking, and we are back with Irae, Amentes, and if I'm still butchering that name to this day, I apologize. But that would be how I would pronounce it. Not knowing how to. Anyway, let's just go from where we left off. It'll probably be more reason for you to have watched it than me to have read it. Jokes on myself. Anyway, let's just jump in, get the show on the road. Congratulations on getting out of the hospital. School was lonely without you. How are you feeling? There's some things I'd like to talk to you about, so I'll be waiting on the roof. By the way, no one else is around. Just the two of us? Okay. Just the two of us? What is happening? Just me and Fuji. Hurry on up, Himuro. What was I supposed to say to this? Is there something not loading? Looked like she hadn't changed a bit. I wasn't sure whether I should heave alongside or start laughing. As a senior, surely she had something better to do than messing with her underclassmen. I really couldn't figure that part out. Like, true, I couldn't picture her getting stressed out over college entrance exams or job hunting, so maybe that sort of carefree approach did suit her, but let's just say that she took things too far. Well, anyway, the roof, huh? It would be a little rude to just turn down her offer, and besides, I was looking for a way to give Kasumi the slip anyway. I climbed up the stairs and threw open the door to the roof. Do we actually get to see what she looks like? Damn, it's cold. It was December. To put it simply, the roof was murderously cold at this time of the year. Before I had taken my 2-month leave of absence, there were still plenty of students eating lunch up here every day, but obviously no one was crazy enough to. Oh yeah, I guess there was someone crazy enough to keep using the roof. I heaved a sigh as I searched for her. There she was, sitting on a bench by the fence and munching on a sandwich. Why did she pick the coldest spot on the entire roof to sit anyway? Himuro! I didn't get a response, so I went ahead and sat down. Oh, there she is. Aw, she's cute. Hello? I had been sitting next to her for nearly 10 seconds now, but she hadn't even looked in my direction, let alone tried to strike up a conversation. Didn't she? She didn't fall asleep, right? Himuro? Huh? It's cold. I'm freezing. Warm me up. For a moment, I considered just getting up and leaving. This was Ray Himuro. The senior who happened to be one of my few friends. That sure looks warm, Fuji. Would you mind lending it to me? I'd appreciate it. Actually, let's not beat around the bush. Hand it over. Bitch! This is about what you could expect from her. Honestly, I didn't take the weather forecast seriously. Looks like it's more accurate than I thought. Anyway, I'm really cold, so could you show me some kindness, Fuji? I wonder. For all her claims that she was freezing, she wasn't shivering one bit, and her expression seemed more or less normal. I couldn't be sure of her intent, but she was eyeing my coat. That stare of hers was colder than any weather, just so long as you actually give it back. Thanks to Kasumi's sewing job, my uniform underneath was looking more than a little fancy. But I didn't feel like getting into some sort of war of endurance. I stood up and took off my coat. We could wear it together if you'd like. Then we could snuggle up together real nice, and I'll pass, thanks. I made my stance clear and stuck the coat on her. Yeah, that's better. You sure are nice. What about you? Are you cold? I'd be lying if I said I was warm. No need to be shy then. Come on, there's room for two. Himuro flapped the hem of the coat, gesturing for me to join her. Did she just want to screw with me like this all day long? So, what did you want to talk to me about? Sorry, my hand slipped. So, you're just going to ignore me, huh? Well, whatever. First off, congratulations on being discharged. I take it Ayase's already told you that? Ayase? Yep, she made sure to do so yesterday, thanks to you. Then, you went on a date? Yep, more or less, thanks to you. I see. That's good. Exactly what part of that was good was completely lost on me. Anyway, it isn't much. But here you go. Eat up. She offered me an egg sandwich, which was what I, a dog being rewarded for a trick. What was I? A dog being rewarded for a trick? I don't know how to read, apparently, either. You'll never grow big and strong if you don't get your nutrients, and we wouldn't want that, right? They say a healthy mind dwells in a healthy body, so hurry up and become an honest man. She was really laying it on today. Apparently, I didn't even qualify as a real human being. Sorry, but I felt confident that I was better at this whole human thing than she was, at least. What? Nothing. Come on, speak your mind. That attitude is why you get into fights. That's how it went down between you and Yusa. I just know. Are you going to eat? I guess. I opened up the egg sandwich and gave it a few bites, offering a flippant reply in the process. Was that all you wanted to tell me? Would you leave if I said yes? That's a tough one. I knew that wasn't a great answer, but I gazed up at the sky. Why was everyone trying to lecture me like this as soon as I got out of the hospital? Was that what I did really that worrying? Like, okay, I was sure most people would consider my scuffle with Shiro to be far more than a mere fight, but it wasn't like I had been singled out for violence by a group or anything. I could understand people who I wasn't particularly friendly with going out of their way to avoid me or getting an earful from Kasumi, but I never expected Himuro, of all people, to go at it too. It feels way too unnatural to have you lecturing me, you know. I get enough of that from Kasumi, and I think it should stay that way. I'd get an ulcer. God, I can't read. If there were two of her around. Hell, the main reason I came up here was to get away from her bitching. You sure have been through a lot, haven't you? Yeah, thanks to you. I dropped my shoulders and sighed. Himuro resumed eating her sandwich as if nothing had ever happened. I guess that was about what I expected from Himuro. If I had to try to describe her, she was like a ghost. She possessed a certain indefinite nature, like she wasn't concerned with the events of the world around her. At the same time, she would occasionally act up as seen earlier. The way she kind of kept her distance was similar to my own position on things. So I did get along with her better than I did Kasumi. That's why the two of us had managed to become friends. What you witnessed just now was me trying to imitate Ayase. You always look just a little pleased underneath the annoyance when she does it. So I gave it a shot, figuring you might be into that sort of thing. But if it seems too unnatural for me, maybe I should stop. Did you think it was weird? Yes, very. How were you supposed to react when the person lecturing you seemed like they were talking to thin air? So, what'd you really call me here for? It wasn't just so you could imitate Kasumi, was it? Wait, that's actually not as implausible as I think. Well, it's not particularly important, but I do have a question. She cast me a sideways glance, her tone as flat as ever. Who won? You or Yusa? It's become a big topic around school. Tsukino High's strongest title match, as they call it. Right now, it's 6-4 in Yusa's favor. But you're the only one who came back to school, so that number's shifting. Who was the actual winner, anyway? I didn't take Himuro for the type to get in on fads like this. Who won, me or Shiro? Well, if you took that to mean who was stronger than me. Really? You think I would lie about this? Don't know. It's just that I think Yusa would say the same thing if I asked him. Yeah, he might have. No, scratch that. He definitely would have. That's quite the scary look you've got on your face. This is what I don't get about you men. Is it really that important who won and who lost? Doesn't that pressure get overwhelming or anything? Were you the one who asked? Yes, but no. You're right. I'm sorry. Okay, let's try a different question. Why did you and Yusa fight? You don't want to answer that? Guess not. It wasn't something I was willing to discuss with others. Himuro was the one who had found Shiro and he passed out up here and called an ambulance for us. So in that sense, I was indebted to her, but that didn't really apply to this. Himuro sighed. Well, I can tell if it wasn't something as simple as you two getting caught up in a love triangle. You and Yusa just aren't the right characters for that genre. And Ayase doesn't seem like the popular type. She didn't really mince words with that one. I figured it would be best not to try to argue, though Shiro and I weren't the type to get into fights for wholesome reasons like that. And indeed, Kasumi wasn't popular, at least not with us. I guess all your misfortunes stem from the fact that, for whatever reason, the two of you were friends in the first place. Truth be told, I had a feeling things would end up this way for a while. Don't you think God can be more than a little cruel sometimes? I'll make sure to throw him a sucker punch for you next time I see him. Don't be shy. I'm saying this out of the goodness of my heart. Sure. Not exactly the sort of thing someone who lived in a church should be saying, but I didn't exactly feel obligated to stop her. If she wanted to punch out Jesus, then she could be my guest, as long as I wasn't the one receiving divine punishment over it anyway. Besides, you're not suited for fights to begin with. No one wants to see you hurt. I'm sure the sister would faint, for sure. Sister? Does she mean the nun at the church? I'd only met her a few times before, but she was really something else. To say that she had model-like proportions would be an understatement. To put it simply, someone like her working as a nun was a great loss to the world. I wouldn't mind giving Jesus a sucker punch or two myself over that one. What was her name again? Sister Lisa. Blue eyes, huge F-cup boobs. Everyone's like, wait. By the way, I'm a B-cup. TMI. Though maybe they'll grow bigger in time. There's nothing wrong with bees, I promise. Bees are great. I kept quiet. There was no sense in crushing her dreams. So, how's Miss F-Cup doing? You're not interested in B-Cups? I'm not going to comment on that one right for now. I rolled up the wrapping paper for the egg sandwich I had been eating and tossed it into the pockets of the coat Himura was wearing. Not missing a beat, she proceeded to hand me a tomato sandwich. She's resting in bed right now. Want to see her? Did she catch a cold? No, that's not it. She took out another sandwich. Where the hell was she keeping all of these sandwiches anyway? And then with the same unwavering blank expression on her face, she dropped a bombshell. It's because she witnessed a murder. Have you seen the news? There was a murder in the park. Their head was cut clean off, blood everywhere. Scary, isn't it? Makes you lose your appetite, she said, happily chowing down on a tomato sandwich. Whatever, that wasn't the issue here. By witnessed, you mean she saw the culprit? No, not them. The one who bit it, in other words. The body? She was the first to discover the body. I was there too. She nodded casually. If this was true, we were talking about some serious shit. This was the sort of thing that could traumatize someone for life. The police questioned me the whole night thanks to that. Lisa was sent back home because of her condition, but I wonder if she's okay. I'm a little worried. Are you doing okay? Me? Yeah, just a bit sleep deprived, that's all. I was looking forward to seeing the police put on the whole good cop, bad cop act, but I guess that only happens on TV. Kind of disappointment. What's wrong, Fuji? You have a weird look on your face. She was the weird one here. I mean, I had always thought she was a little off, but wait, could this be what you actually wanted to talk to me about? I wonder. I brought it up because our conversation reminded me of it. But maybe you're right. It wasn't fun being treated as a suspect and all, so maybe I did want to complain a bit. Hey, mind if I complain? Well, sure, go ahead. A murder case. There were few topics less suitable for a mealtime. Honestly, it wasn't really something I wanted to hear about either. Unfortunately, I couldn't avoid feeling curious about the matter. I couldn't seem to rid myself of thoughts about that dream. I decided to go ahead and listen to what Himura had to say. I think it was right past 11. I like how the skyline looks here at night. So Lisa and I go there often. There's always lots and lots of couples there, and even a molester or two from time to time. But for some reason, the place was completely deserted last night. Now that I think about it, something just felt off. There was this weird atmosphere, like somehow it felt oddly warm despite how cold it was outside. I made a mistake not turning around and going home right then. Can't help but regret that. Himura began her story, an uncharacteristic hint of self-derision in her voice. The park she was talking about wasn't the sort of place housewives took their kids to. It was a seaside park that offered a view of the opposite shore and its various attractions, like the sky-high tower, the amusement park, shopping mall, resort hotel, and so on. As such, it was generally utilized as a date spot, teeming with people late into the night. It would seem that that was not the case last night, however. You know that area right near the bridge? The one where you and Lisa often rode your bikes? It gets real dark around there, right? Not even most people living there really know about it. Maybe you could call it a blind spot. Anyway, that's where it happened. Lisa was the one who noticed it first. At first, she thought it was some sort of spray paint. There's a lot of graffiti in that place, you know? But that couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, the wall dyed in red paint, a sticky gelatinous torrent of foul-smelling. My first impression was that it was like a champagne bottle whose cork was just removed, like the stopper had just been let loose. We found it lying a little ways from there. They just flopped on the ground. I didn't know heads flew off like that. I was surprised by how much blood there was, too. Blood made up about 8 to 10% of a person's total weight. For an adult male, that would have meant around 5 to 6 liters. There's no stretch to say that they had come across a literal sea of blood. I'm surprised he didn't faint. Women are better at handling blood than men. We're better at dealing with extreme situations, too. Anyway, we couldn't just leave it like that, so I called the police, thinking they could give us a ride home. Let me guess, they wanted your statement and had you questioned until dawn. Yes, quite rude, don't you think? It should have been obvious that 2 unarmed women could never have pulled that off. She meant cleaving off someone's head in an instant like that, according to the news. Apparently, they think the murder weapon was a katana or a similar blade. Yeah, so I heard. They must be combing through the museum as we speak. Probably wondering if there's any exhibits that are missing, or if any have blood on them. I wanted to laugh that idea off, but the circumstances made it difficult. That reasoning sounds like something right out of a TV show. But there's a lot of blades just sitting there in the same city where a murder happened. I don't think they can just ignore that. She had a point. What do you think about that? Weren't you there yesterday afternoon? What do you mean? I mean, does anything come to mind? Like, did it feel like there was some legendary magic sword mixed in with the other exhibits? Even overlooking the ridiculous example, I couldn't tell if she was being serious or not. Fuji? No, not really. I see. That's a little disappointing. As ever, her disinterested tone was at odds with her words. To say at odds. Amuro resumed eating. I simply looked up at the sky. A grisly decapitation. This was the sort of abnormal, gruesome event that would give you goosebumps just thinking about it. Anyone living in Suwahara must have been scared out of their wits. Alright. I'm in this here. Whew. I like Ray. She's cool. She's a little weird, but she's cool. But yeah, if you like this, make sure you leave a like before you go. If you know someone who would like this story and would like to watch it, give it a share if you want to see more, which there will be more every Monday. Maybe not this particular story, but you know. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe. If you hated it, well, you know, you didn't need to watch it. But yeah. Hopefully I will see you guys next time. Bye!